Okay, so now module 3, section 3. Alright, problem solving is defined as a process used for finding solutions to daily problems. State 2 considerations in selecting the most optimal solution. Well, in selecting the most optimal solution, alright, 2 considerations that's in selecting the most optimal solution. Cost of implementing the solution. Did I say state here? So state could be any cost of implementing the solution and time it would take to get it done. Alright, outline one secret. One activity that takes place during the review stage of the problem solving process. One activity that takes place during the review stage of the problem solving process. The solution is review. No. Okay. The users of the system are asked what problems or issues they may be having. Or what they want to see. Yeah, or what they want to see in the next question. Cool. To effectively solve problems, quality information is necessary. There's 3 criteria for accepting or rejecting information used during the problem solving process. There are a lot. Three criteria would be timeliness, level of scholarship, referred sources, currency. Those should be good enough there. Your neighbors have a 1-year-old baby who suffers from an undetermined health condition. To learn more about the problem, they have started consulting internet sources for information. Describe 2 characteristics or information sources that must be considered as they search the internet. Alright, so internet sources are a little different from normal information sources. And the question said describe, so we have to describe, which will be the referred sources. Referred sources means the page should have links that point to other reputable sources of info. That's 1. 2 would be the authorship. The author should be stated, and any other works or qualifications should be included. Yep. What other characters? So you have authorship, you have referred sources, you have date and time. Make sure that the date and time is stated. You have, yeah, those will be okay. Alright. A detailed report was submitted to the teacher of a school by an invigilator. The extract below was taken from the report. Damien Shaw, who lives at 11 Arbor Lane, Rousseau, came into the Cape Information Technology examination room wearing his school uniform. He sat next to Trudy Clark. 30 minutes before the examination was due to finish, he was seen reading an IT textbook. Alright, based on the extract, identify one example of each of the following types of information. Alright, extraneous information inside. The extraneous means it has nothing to do with anything. Like, it doesn't matter. So it's a school invigilator actually giving a report about an exam. Who are you giving it to? It's submitting it to the teacher. So obviously the teacher needs to follow up on this. So if the teacher needs to follow up on it, we need to get the things that are necessary. So let's see if we can get necessary things. Damien Shaw, that's important, because that's clearly we need to know his name. Right. Yeah, so Damien Shaw, who lives at 11 Arbor Lane, yes, we need to know where he's living because he needs to be contacted. Came into the Cape in the examination, right? So Cape IT exam, that's important too. Wearing his school uniform. Yeah, wearing his school uniform, not exactly that important. We don't need to know he was wearing his school uniform. He sat next to Trudy Clark. Sitting next to Trudy Clark. I don't know if being next to Trudy Clark matters. 30 minutes before the examination was due to finish, he was seen reading IT books. So 30 minutes before, that's important too. That's important. He was seen reading an IT textbook. That is important also. Alright, cool. So the extraneous part is wearing a school uniform. Desirable could be many things. I will put 30 minutes before the examination is due to finish reading his IT textbook. That is clearly essential. The time that he read it, 30 minutes before, that could be desirable. His name is essential. His address could be desirable. So for desirable, we could either put the 30 minutes or we could get the address, 11 Arbor Lane. Alright, identify two categories of information other than those mentioned in the part 1 above. Well, you have essential, and extraneous, desirable, essential, and cosmetic. Yeah. I would say extraneous is also Trudy Clark. Trudy Clark being next to him, not really going to change much. Because he was seen reading the IT textbook. Although the Trudy Clark could be desirable, but that is... Alright, define term data flow diagram. A diagram that shows how data is collected and distributed within a system. Outline two differences between context level data flow diagram and first level data flow diagram. Context level, it has no data flow, no data stores. Context, no data stores, and one process. Level 1 would be multiple processes, and 2 would be many data stores, or more, many data stores. Right. A farmer is researching ways to increase his yearly income. Identify two pieces of information that can help the farmer improve productivity. Ways to increase his yearly income. How am I supposed to know how a farmer going to increase his yearly productivity? That's me knowing about farming. Okay. two pieces of information. One, the best time to plant / harvest. And two, best fertilizer to use. Yeah. For each piece of information listed in the above, discuss the most appropriate source the farmer should consider for obtaining required information. Best time to plant and harvest, you could find that in a farmer's magazine. Or, yeah, farmer's magazine or journal. I should have a farmer's magazine or journal that would have articles from reputable, what they're looking for is from reputable sources. So they want to know if you know a type of data source and what it would be good for. So a magazine or journal might have reputable sources. And next one would be from other farmers. Yeah, other farmers, aka people who have first-hand experience in the field. Yeah, in the field. Yeah, basically. Outline 2 ways which access to the internet can support farmers in improving productivity. Wow. Alright, we could get them the mailing lists. You could have mailing lists that send regular updates to the farmers with new trends. To the farmers can, I don't know, access blogs that track the real life progress of other farmers. Yeah. We'll go with that. There are many others, like you have plenty of options here when outline 2 ways, so you go brave. Alright, 3 of the programming paradigms for developing software are procedural, object-oriented, and functional. Explain any 2 of the paradigms listed above. Alright, so this is straightforward. Procedural is step-by-step instructions are carried out, and they are used in common tasks that repeat regularly. Next easiest one is functional. Explaining object-oriented could be plenty, but you had to explain classes and objects, but functional is very easy to explain. Functional programs are broken down into smaller parts that make it easier to code and debug. Alright, so that's part 1. Part 2, give an example of a programming language for each explained in part 1 above. Alright, procedural, or the ones that I chose, procedural, would be like C, Pascal. Functional, basically any program could be, anything could be functional. So C++ could be functional, C could be functional if you wanted to, or Prolog. I think that's the examples that they have in the syllabus. Prolog and Lisp. C++ is really object oriented, so I'm gonna take that one out. I just leave Prolog. Prolog or Lisp, but I think it's Lisp. Alright, explain the function of a loop in a block of code. A loop repeats a set of commands as long as the condition has not been met. Alright, describe one error that may cause a program to run infinitely. If the condition for the loop cannot be met, the loop will keep running indefinitely. Right, documenting program code is very important. Very important stage in programming. Outline 2 problems that maybe arise if programmers do not document code. One, it would be new programmers who have to update the system would not know what to do or what to change, or what certain parts of the system can do, right? And 2 would be if programmers do not document the source code, the code can become difficult to follow even for the person that wrote it. Alright, figure 1 shows an algorithm. Prompt the user to enter a value for P. Input P, prompt. We have to do a traceable fit. Alright, so prompt the user to enter P, input P. Prompt the user to input N, input N. So we're reading a P and an N. The user enters 3 and 4 respectively. And then we're just going through this little loop part here, which is just a for loop. Alright, so what we want to do is we want to represent this for loop here. So prompt for P and prompt for N, but we don't have N. Alright, so the enter, so P is 3 and N is 4, so that means our loop is going from 4, so that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. Definitely we know the count is going to be 4 because it's from 1 to N, so it'll be 1 to 4. A is equal to count plus P. Alright, so what happens now? So we have counters 1, 2, 3, 4. A is equal to count plus P. So what's the value of count at the start? 1 plus P. P would have been 3, so A will become 4. So they put that in for us already. P is equal to P plus 1. That goes up. A is 4. How P get to 4? Oh, P is 3 plus 1. So we got 4. Oh, it says after 1 iteration. Oh, that's why. Okay. So after 1 iteration, we have 4 and 4. So for the second iteration now, count is going to change to 2. So that's going to be 2 plus whatever the value of P is now, which is 4. So that'll be 2 plus 4, which will be 6. So A will be 6. 2 plus 4, which will be 6. And P goes up by 1, which will be 5. When we loop again, we'll be adding 3 plus 5, which will be 8, and 5 plus 1, which will give us 6. And then when we go again, now we're going to add 6 plus 4, which will be 10, and we carry up P by 1, which will give me 7. So that's what it's supposed to look like there. Let me just double check. N is 1, 2, 3, 4, good. 4, 4, 4. 3 plus 2 plus, 1 plus 3 will give me 4. for A, and P goes up by 1, which will go up by 4. So the N was just basically to tell you how much times to count. So that N there was just for the count, right? Yeah. All right, so that's good there.